The things that have been coming up most for me in the coaching that I've been doing with clients is a lot of people that it's very obvious that if you're running well, it's much easier, right? Like it's easier to be feeling good. It doesn't necessarily mean you're playing well, but if you're feeling well, then that helps. Because often people's biggest frustration comes when they feel like they're not playing well and they're upset at themselves for the way they've been performing. That's when you don't enjoy life as a poker player. Basically, when poker has allowed you to become angry at yourself. Because we don't want to be living in a state of like self-loathing. That's a really low state of being in a place that we don't want to be. So it actually takes a bit of awareness and humility to be able to notice your mistakes when you're running well. And that's a whole animal in itself. But I think the most standard complaint that you get from people during these series is like they're hating poker if they're not winning. And the reason they're hating poker is they're not winning. It's not just because, oh, I lost money or, oh, I didn't gain money. Often it's because of the conversation that takes place inside the person when they make mistakes. And a lot of the time you're much more aware of mistakes when you're losing because you're constantly looking for them. Whereas people who are winning and seemingly running well, they tend to be a little bit less critical of their own play. And this is kind of a generalization because obviously the better a player you are, the better able you are to discern whether you're playing well from whether you're running well and to be accurate in your assessments. And this is obviously the level that we want to ascribe to and aim for. And once we reach that level where we're able to authentically judge our play, we want to, again, make sure that we're doing it in a way that's helpful. So a lot of the time, if you haven't had a result, you can feel like poker is a job and that every tournament in the schedule is an obligation. And like, as Josh just mentioned, he hasn't been taking Scoop like that seriously, like it wasn't a plan to play every event. You put Scoop on your schedule. You're like, oh, there's a Scoop going on. Cool, I might play some of these. Rather than you putting yourself on Scoop schedules, like, oh, I must be here at this time, this day. And a lot of the people I work with, I've got a video coming about this week. If you put yourself in the employee mindset, as we've talked about before, like you end up hating poker. You end up like, it's the reason we get into poker is often to create a life of freedom, of abundance, of having a nice lifestyle. And when you're forcing yourself to play too many tables or for too many hours, or playing games where you have like average profit of like a few dollars, and it makes you unhappy with your career choice. And it's like a thing we don't really realize because we just think of ourselves like EV calculation machines and like, oh, I should play this, I should play this, I should play this, I should play this, I shouldn't miss anything. It's all money. But you don't just like gain your ROI times buy-in every time you register. It definitely matters how you perform.